Hello, I'm Nick Duddy and welcome to the first ever OpenMined content sharing webinar. This is, we came up with this idea because we have so many great and interesting people creating content in OpenMined, and it's not just about OpenMined, it's about generally privacy preserving technology. So we decided to do this webinar once a month to be able to share what is happening in the community and how you might be able to get involved. The first thing we're going to talk about is genetic data privacy in the dawn of big data forensics. So this basically talks about how genetic data is being used, how we can protect users with that technology, and what the applications could look like. So this is actually I didn't realize some of the things that were going on until I read this article. And it's a little bit scary, but there is hope in the future. The next aspect, also something I learned about cars that I didn't know, autonomous driving seatbelt movement. So the original seatbelt was created by Volvo, the 3-point seatbelt that we have nowadays. And it talks about what the process was in developing that and how they made it open source, essentially, for all the other car companies, despite them investing lots and lots of money into this. So comparing how big organizations can work together and share information for the good of people, essentially, and how you would develop a data ecosystem around autonomous driving to make that safer for everybody. Next up, split neural networks on PYSYET and PYTORCH. So this is a bit more of a technical piece. It's talking about engineering and maintenance on, I believe it's jet engines, yes, and how sharing data can reduce costs essentially across multiple organizations. But how do you do that without giving away, all the data that you have collected as an organization blindly? And it shows how you can split up that data to be able to train on a very specific subset of problems without giving away all your IP. And there's a little kind of tutorial in there on how that would work. Next up, this is, I read this for the first time like 3 or 4 days ago, and we are doing an AMA on this at OpenMined. It is so cool and also crazy what sort of information we could be giving away. So this is essentially what data do we give away in, for example, image recognition or with our Alexa on in the background? And how can we preserve that data by adding noise? So how do we, if we only want to look at the mouth of an image, how do we make noise so the deep learning algorithms only see the mouth? And it explains how that works and how what has been developed to be able to be used in the real world. I'd definitely check out the AMA for this coming up in the next couple of weeks. This is a tutorial on homomorphic encryption in PYSYET and with CO and PyTorch. I've just realized I've not updated this slide properly. But essentially, in OpenMined, we have started using Microsoft's seal library to be able to do homomorphic encryption on tensors. And you can go through this tutorial and see what we've done and where we're planning to go with this. A particular favorite of mine, as my background is marketing and data science. And this is essentially a peer-to-peer data science platform, so using federated learning. So sharing information between you and a pool of data, essentially, that you can train on. So you don't need to necessarily collect your own data to be able to train algorithms. You'll be able to access a pool of data, and essentially how that is created, how it works, some practical examples, and the roadmap for this. I'm really excited about this. As I've done a lot of kind of Facebook marketing in the past, I understand how the targeting works, and it'd be nice to be able to train algorithms for potential ad uses without extracting so much personal information. So this is a really interesting project as far as I'm concerned moving forward. This is essentially using privacy and federated learning and recommendation engines. So it shows you how to build a federated learning recommendation engine, why you should, and that's essentially because with more data laws coming into place, we might not have as much access to data as we used to. And essentially, if we build using private systems, we can then get better performance because chances are we'll get access to more data. And that's all the content we've got this month. This is a monthly call that you can sign up to, where I will share whatever cool information came out this month. If you can't make the calls, then I will share the link, a private YouTube link for you, so you can kind of catch up on it, the latest, greatest coming out of OpenMined. I will see you all next month.